Hello friends, myself Vinay Bhat. Today I am here to give you a small presentation on Introduction to Mongo Database. Let us see the agendas of today's presentation. What is Mongo Database? Why to use Mongo Database? Mongo supported data type. Steps to install Mongo Database on Windows. Last but not the least, some of the references. So let us start with the introduction to Mongo Database. What is Mongo Database? Mongo Database is a cross-platform document-oriented database that provides high performance, high availability, and easy scalability. Mongo Database works on concept of collection and document. So the following table show you the conventions which we use in RDBMS as well as in Mongo Database. The database which we use in RDBMS stands same in case of Mongo Database. That is, we too call database as a database, whereas the table in RDBMS is coined as collection in Mongo Database. Tuples or row in RDBMS is been referred as document in Mongo Database. Column refers to field. Table join operation refers to embedding of documents. Primary key in case of RDBMS is also referred as a primary key provided by a Mongo database itself, which we call it as a default key ID. Then let us see some of the softwares which we need for Mongo database. In case of RDBMS, it is MySQL or Oracle, whereas for Mongo database, it is MongoDB, which is nothing but a server. And similarly, MySQL or SQL plus for RDBMS and Mongo for MongoDB. Mongo here is a client. So these were the some of the conventions. Now let us see what is database. Database is a physical container for collections. Each database gets its own set of files on the file system. A single Mongo database server typically has multiple databases. Next, collection. Collection is nothing but a group of Mongo database documents. It is the equivalent of an RDBMS table, as we have seen in the above table. A collection exists within a single database. Collection do not enforce a schema. Documents within a collection can have different fields. Typically, all documents in a collection are of similar or related purpose. Now, the next terminology is document. A document is a set of key value pairs. Documents have dynamic schema. Dynamic schema means that documents in the same collection do not need to have the same set of fields or structure and common fields in a collections document that hold different types of data. Next, let us see the sample document which we store in a Mongo database. So here you can see the left hand side is an example for a document database. So in document we see that it composed of key value where ID is a key and object ID is an associated value. So similarly you can see more keys like title, description, by, URL, tags, likes along with its associated value. Whereas when we compare it with the SQL table, we know the syntax of table, how it is being created, like with the help of create statement, create table followed by table name and all the attributes of those table along with its data types. You can even mention what are its primary key as well as unique key. Whereas in document, ID is a default key which is being provided by Mongo database. So no need to explicitly mention it. If you mention it, it's okay. But anyways, Mongo database is going to take care of it. So this is a table which you have created from the SQL table. So let us see what ID in case of document stands for. ID is a 12-byte hexadecimal number which assures the uniqueness of every document. You can provide ID while inserting the document. If you don't provide, then MongoDB provides a unique ID for every document. So this is what I meant. Any relational database has a typical schema design that shows number of tables and the relationship between these tables, while in Mongo database there is no concept of relationship. Now next, let us see what are the supported data types in Mongo database. Mongo database supports many data types. Some of the commonly used data types here are string. This is the most commonly used data type to store the data. String in Mongo database must be either UTF-8 value. Integer. This type is used to store a numerical value. Integer can be 32-bit or of 64-bit depending upon your server. Next, Boolean. This type is used to store a Boolean value. Double. This type is used to store floating point values. Arrays. This type is used to store arrays or list or multiple values into one key. Next data type is a timestamp, and the inbuilt variable what we have in Mongo database is C timestamp. This can be handy for recording when a document has been modified or added. Next data type is an object. This is used for embedding the documents. The next data type is null. This type is used to store a null value. Date. This data type is used to store the current date or time in Unix time format. You can specify your own date time by creating object of date and passing day, month, year into it. Next data type is object ID. This is used to store the document's ID. Next type is binary data. This data type is used to store binary data. And next one is code. This data type is used to store JavaScript code into the document. So these are some of the supported data types by MongoDB. Now let us see why to use Mongo database. Queries in Mongo database are processed a lot faster than in MySQL. That is, Mongo database follows database wide lock, which allows Mongo database server to process one write query per database, but it is able to use multiple databases simultaneously. Index on any attribute results in faster access. Auto sharding. What do you mean by auto sharding? Auto sharding is nothing but a mechanism of storing records across multiple machines. It supports replication and high availability. It has rich queries, that is, it makes use of a document-based query language. So the first line variable query is equals to last name followed by its value Smith, selects last name from the table name, and with the help of function find, we search the user whose last name is Smith. Then comes Mongo database data modeling. Data in MongoDB has a flexible schema. Documents in the same collection do not need to have the same set of fields or structure and common fields in a collections document which may hold different types of data. Some considerations while designing schema in Mongo database are: design your own schema according to user requirements, combine objects into one document if you will use them together, duplicate the data but limited, optimize your schema for most frequent use cases. Example, suppose a client needs a database design for his blog or website and see the differences between RDBMS and Mongo database schema design, then this is how he is going to do it. Website has the following requirements. Every post has a unique title, description and URL. Every post can have one or more tags. Every post has the name of its publisher and total number of likes. Every post has comments given by users along with their name, message, data time and likes. On each post there can be 0 or more comments. So in RDBMS, schema or design for the above requirements will have minimum 3 tables. Table for comments, which will hold all these attributes like post ID, by user, message, date time, likes. Another table say post, which will hold the ID, title, description, URL, likes, post by, and the third table which is a tag list for which ID, post ID and tags will be the attributes. While in Mongo database schema, design will have only one collection post and the following structure. So this is how you can design the schema in case of Mongo database. It has a ID, which is nothing but a post ID, and title of the document, which is title of post, and description of the document. Say who has posted it, post by, URL of the post, then tags followed by total likes, then followed by comments of each user. So comments by user 1 and comments by user 2 can be sent as an array to the document. So while showing the data in RDBMS, you need to join 3 tables, and in case of MongoDB, data will be shown from one collection only. Now next, let us see what are the steps you need to follow while installing Mongo database on Windows. So first of all, you need to download the latest release of Mongo database from the official Mongo website. Make sure you get correct version of Mongo database depending upon your Windows version. So in my case, it is 64-bit. 32-bit version of Mongo database only support databases smaller than 2 GB, and it is suitable only for testing and evaluation purposes. Then once you download the Mongo database file, you have to extract it into your location where you are supposed to install it. So this is the command, move Mongo database followed by the folder name where you want to extract it. So in case you have extracted the Mongo database at a different location, then you have to give the complete path by using the following command, cd folder / followed by the name of the directory. So this is a snapshot where you can observe that I have extracted the downloaded file into a separate folder, say Windows C Mongo database is the name of the directory in which I have extracted the Mongo database software. If you want to install the Mongo database at a different location, then you need to specify an alternate path for database by setting the path db path in MongoD.exe. For the same, issue the following commands. In the command prompt, navigate to the bin directory present in the Mongo database installation folder. Suppose my installation folder is D followed by setup followed by MongoDB, then these are the set of commands which user has to execute in case of installing the Mongo database with respect to that D folder. So setup is a directory which already the user has created. So move to that setup folder followed by MongoDB. Then make a new directory, say data followed by DB, and then you can go to the bin folder and try invoking the server process by this command MongoD.exe followed by db path and the path of the database where the data is going to store. So by executing this command, the server gets initiated and it runs in a background mode as shown in the snapshot. So this server will be waiting for the connection message on the console output, which indicates that the MongoD.exe process is running successfully. So here you can observe server application is running and waiting for the request from the client. Now next you have to invoke the client. So for that you need to open another command prompt and issue the following command. So in the same bin directory, you just have to execute the mongo.exe, which is a client part of the database. So once you invoke it, it tries to establish a connection with the server which is already running in the background mode. So in the snapshot you can see one as a client and another as a server. So client has tried to get the connection from the server, and once it is successful, the user can start his work in the client side. So server and client running successfully. This will show that Mongo database is installed and is running successfully. Next time when you run Mongo database, you need to issue only the commands and those commands are one command for invoking the server and the another one for the client. So once the server is being invoked successfully along with its client, then the user can start his use cases. The very first use case what we are going to see here is how to create a database. So the database can be created with the help of use command. Mongo database use database name is used to create a database. The command will create a new database if it doesn't exist. Otherwise, it will return the existing database. So here is a syntax. Use is a command followed by database name. So a simple example is being shown here. Use followed by HDMCT, which switches to the database HDMCT. Now to check which is your currently selected database, you have to make use of the command db. So when you type the command db, it will show you the currently selected database, which is HDMCT. Now if you want to check the list of databases that the user has created, simply type the command show dbs. It will list you all the database which is being created by the user. One thing what you can observe here is the database what we have created just now, HDMCT, is not present in the list. This is because to display the database, you either need to insert at least one document into it. So the next part is how to insert the document into the database. So db is the object of the database which is pointing to HDMCT, followed by department is nothing but a name of the collection, followed by function insert. So this insert function takes a parameter, name is the key, and computer science is an associated value. So this means that the department name is a computer science, and this is being stored into the database, which is HDMCT. So now when I try to type the same command show dbs, this HDMCT is being shown here. Why? Because we have inserted the document into the HDMCT. The same thing is being explained through this snapshot. So firstly, when I got the connection from the server, I tried using the command show dbs, which showed me the list of currently available database. Since HDMCT was not there, I created it with the help of use command. Then I inserted a document, say department, with the name computer science, and once it is being successfully executed, you can see the database HDMCT being shown in the list of database. In Mongo database, default database is test or admin. If you did not create any database, then collections will be stored in admin database. This is for your reference. Now, once you have created the database, the next part is how you can drop those database. So database can be dropped with the following command, drop database method. MongoDB has a drop database command which is used to drop an existing database. So syntax goes like this. db is nothing but the database name to which it is pointing to, followed by drop database. So this will delete the selected database. If you have not selected any database, then it will delete the default test database. So let us see the example. First, check the list of available databases by using the command show dbs. So as we have seen, HDM is being listed here. Now if you want to delete a new database, say HDMCT, then drop database command would be used as follows. Use HDMCT, which will switch the user to the DB HDMCT. Then execute this command db.drop database, which will drop the database HDMCT from the data. Now check the list of available database. As expected, the HDMCT database is been removed and is not listed. The same thing is been shown in the snapshot. Show dbs, which will show you the HDM database. Now when I try to drop the database with the drop database command, if it gets executed successfully, then it will be removed from the database. So when you try to see the database list, you won't find it here. So this is how you can delete the database. Next, create collection. So create collection method is used to create collection inside the database. The syntax goes like this. Basic syntax of create collection is as follows. DB, which is nothing but a database object, followed by create collection, which takes two parameters, say name and options. In the command, name is the name of the collection to be created and option is a document and is used to specify configuration of the collection. Option parameter is optional, so you need not specify it every time, each and every time when you try to create the collection. So you need to specify only the name of the collection. Now let us see the example. Basic syntax of create collection method without option is as follows. Use HDMCT, which will switch the user from the different database to the database HDMCT, then db.createCollection followed by the name of the collection, which is departments. You can check the created collection by using the command show collection. So when you execute show collection, it will show you the newly created collection, which is department. The same thing can be explained through the snapshot. DB HDMCT, then show collection. Since you don't have initially any collection, it won't list you the collection name. And here when you create a new collection with the department as a name, then you can see the department being shown when you try to see the list of collections. In Mongo database, you don't need to create collection because Mongo database creates collection automatically when you insert some document. And below is the example. Say here you can see that the collection department which you have created is the only collection in the list of collection. So when I try to insert a new collection with the name department DEPT along with its name and value computer science, you can observe that the department collection is being shown in the list of collection. So this is what the above sentence means. You don't need to create collection because Mongo database will take care of it when you insert some document into the database. So this is how you can create the collection. Now the next part is how to drop the collection. So drop collection can be done with the help of db.collection.drop. Here collection is nothing but the name of the collection. Syntax db followed by collection name followed by drop command. Example, use HDMCT, which will switch the user to the HDMCT database, then execute show collection will show you the list of collections which is available. Now you can drop the collection with the name my collection. Say db followed by department dot drop. So if it returns the value true, then it means that the collection has been successfully dropped. Now again check the list of collection into database. You won't find any collection being listed here. So the same thing has been explained through a snapshot. Show collection, department, then switch to HDMCT database. Then you try to drop the department database, and once you drop it, you won't find it here. Drop method will return true if the selected collection is dropped successfully. Otherwise, it will return false. So this is how you can drop the collection. The next part is how to insert the document into the database. So the insert document can be done with the help of a method, say insert. So to insert data into the Mongo database collection, you need to use Mongo database insert or save method. The basic syntax of insert command is as follows. db followed by collection name followed by insert and the document which you want to insert. So the document can be a key value associated pair. Here in this case, the very first document has an ID followed by value of the ID, which is object ID, then title, description by URL, tags, likes. So this is how the document will be stored into the collection of the database. Here is one more example, user-defined example. DB followed by course. Course is nothing but the name of the collection, and I'm going to insert a document whose name is student course into the collection. So the syntax goes like this: db.course.insert id 1, title as student course, then course name 1 as dbms, course name 2 as C++, and course name 3 is OS, and name of the department is CS. So once you insert the document into the course, the document will have a unique ID associated with it. The same thing has been once again explained through a snapshot. Switch to the database HDMCT, then followed by course.insert the document which has ID, title, course name 1, 2, 3, and name of the department. So once it gets inserted, and when the user try to see the name of the collection, try to see the list of the collection, he can find that the course collection is being shown here. Here my call is our collection name as created in the previous chapter. So this is what it refers to: db mycall.insert. So mycall is nothing but the name of the collection as created. If the collection doesn't exist in the database, then MongoDB database will create this collection and then insert a document into it. In the inserted document, if you don't specify the ID parameter, then Mongo database assigns a unique object ID for this document. Next, to insert multiple documents in a single query, you can pass it as an array of documents in the insert command, and this can be done like this: db.post. Post is nothing but the name of the collection, followed by insert the description of the first document, which is Mongo database overview, followed by description by URL, tags, like. So this is the beginning of the first document and this is the end of the first document. So along with this document, you can see one more document which is being inserted, and these two documents are passed as an array. So the name of the second document is NoSQL database. Description: NoSQL database doesn't have tables, followed by URL, tags, likes, comments by the user. So this document has the description of the NoSQL database, and you can see that there are two documents which is being inserted simultaneously. Next part is how to query the document. So query operation can be done with the help of find method. So to query data from the MongoDB collection, you need to make use of MongoDB's find method. So syntax goes like this: switch to the database HDMCT and then db dot name of the collection dot find. Find method will display all the documents in a non-structured way. What do you mean by non-structured way? All the attributes shown there will not be arranged or will not be organized properly. So the same thing will be in the following slide. That is, once you execute the command without the pretty method, you will see the value of the documents being shown in a non-structured way. That is, it is not organized in a proper way. But in order to organize it in a proper way, we have to make use of pretty method. To display the result in a formatted way, you can use pretty method. So syntax goes like this: db dot name of the collection dot find followed by pretty. So this makes the document in a proper arrangement. That is, you can see ID, title as student course, course name 1 DBMS, 2 C++, 3 OS. So this is what I was telling you. If you don't make use of pretty, everything will be shown in a single line, which doesn't make the thing clear to the user. So when I try to make use of pretty method here, everything will be shown in an organized way. So ID, title, course name 1, 2, 3, and so on. Apart from find method, there is one more method, say find one method, which will return only one document. Next, let us see what are the RDBMS where clause equivalents in Mongo database. To query the document on the basis of some condition, you can use following operation. So equality, for equality, in case of Mongo database, it goes like this: db dot followed by collection name dot find followed by its key with its value dot pretty. For less than operation, the syntax goes like this: database dot my column dot find likes followed by its value, which is less than 50 dot pretty. In case of RDBMS, you can just make use of operator, say less than operator. Similarly for equality. Next, less than or equal to, key followed by its value less than or equal to. So example, database followed by collection name dot find likes less than or equals to 50 dot pretty. Greater than, key greater than key followed by its value. So example, database dot my column dot find likes greater than 50. Greater than or equal to, key followed by greater than or equal to command. Not equals to, key followed by not equals to command with its value. db dot my column dot find likes not equal to 50 dot pretty. So these are some of the operations, and you can see that in RDBMS it is quite simple. You can directly make use of the operators which is available there, but there are no such operators being supported in Mongo database. Hence we make use of the statement likes followed by its value, like less than or equals to 50 or greater than or equals to 50. Next, we will see how to delete the document from the collection. So for deleting the document, we have a method, say remove, which is used to remove a document from the collection. Remove method accepts two parameters. One is deletion criteria and the second one is flag. Deletion criteria is an optional parameter, and based on deletion criteria, documents will be removed. Just one is also an optional parameter, and if it is set to true or 1, then it means that you have to remove only one document. Syntax goes like this: db followed by collection name dot remove followed by deletion criteria. Example, consider the my column collection has the following data. It has two documents with two different IDs, and the name of the document is MongoDB overview and NoSQL overview. When I try to remove all the documents whose title is Mongo database overview, then this is how I'm going to do it. db dot my column, it's nothing but a name of the collection, dot remove followed by its key and its value, Mongo DB overview. And when I try to find the document with this key, I find that the entire document is being removed from the collection, and the only document which I have here is NoSQL overview. The same thing is being explained through snapshot. Course.find.pretty will show you the available document, which is student course, and when I try to remove it with the help of remove method by passing the name of the document, you will see that the document has been removed successfully, and when you try to find the same document once again, the database or the collection has nothing available in it. Next, we will see how to remove only one document. If there are multiple records and you want to delete only the first record, then set just one, which is the second parameter in remove method, to 1. That is database followed by collection name dot remove deletion criteria followed by 1. So 1 says that only one document will be removed. Next, let us see how to remove all the documents at a time. If you don't specify deletion criteria, then Mongo database will delete the whole documents. Say db.mycolumn.remove. So this remove method doesn't have a deletion criteria, so it is going to delete all the documents available inside the container. And when you try to find the document, you won't see any documents being available inside the collection. The same thing has been explained through the snapshot. Now you can see that there was a communication between the client and the server. We have executed so many commands, and each command is being sent to the server where it executes, and the server in turn will send the result back to the client, and the client will display it to the user. So this snapshot tells you how the communication takes place between the client and the server. So with this, I would like to conclude my today's presentation. Hope you have understood the today's seminar topic. Below are some of the references where I have referred the MongoDB database. Thank you.